Hitman has always been quite a realistic game, and we try to take that even further with this one, and that goes both for the gameplay and the architecture and all the items around you. Also, all the levels are based on real life locations, and either it's specific buildings or it's specific parts of a town that we sent teams out to research, and the architects take whatever they can from real life or specific buildings or monuments or whatever, and model it in to fit with the level design. We have huge photo libraries from, for instance, Mardi Gras or New Orleans, which first there was a team going over, and then luckily we had a guy working here that actually came from New Orleans, so he took a lot of pictures second time around when we found out exactly what we needed, like all these little details like the door handles and telephone boxes, and I mean there are so many things that kind of defines a specific place that we try to take as much as possible and integrate it into the game.
We had basically had levels all over the world before, and there is so many cool things about America that you know, in all its posh glamour, and sometimes it gets vulgar and all that, but it's people know it and people respect it in that awkward way. So like the casinos of Vegas, and you know, everybody knows the White House, and it's all like clouded in mystery, and it's just something we didn't do, and it's so obvious to do, and it was fun to do also. We don't only have them in the States. I mean, there is still, you know, intercontinental travel in the game, but we just took all the coolest places in America, from the, you know, deep dark southern places to, you know, the posh parties of Las Vegas. It sort of has it all.
The Mardi Gras level is very special, since I mean, Mardi Gras is about a lot of people. And that was one of that was the main objective in that level, was to try and achieve that feeling of a lot of people. When I was programming the rest of the level, I would walk into the street and it would just be empty. I had a sort of a placeholder sound of a crowd cheering, but I had no idea how it was going to look. And in the end, when we finally got it into the level, it was just, I mean, it was mind-blowing to just walk into the street and there was just people everywhere. The system can actually manage 3,000 characters simultaneously on the level. Personally, I've never seen anything like that in any previous game. I mean, we have it running on the PlayStation 2 and on the Xbox and the PC, so it's really fantastic.
We have, I mean, it's a little bit of a cliche, but it always works pretty well. But we have the hunter become the hunted. So we have this semi-failed clone who is like tracking down Hitman all throughout the storyline, and who he, of course, will have a confrontation with at some point. And what's really cool about that is more than the fact that it's his nemesis and all that. It's the fact that he's like this dysfunctional clone. Like, he's really cool. He has a lot of the stuff, but he's just not stable. He's like a beta software thing or whatever. So, you know, these clones, they tend to die of cancer within time and all that. So they have this built-in, you know, anger, maybe, I don't know, jealousy towards him being a success. So that gives them sort of, even though they are also these cold, calculated assassins, it gives them like a reason to go after Hitman, because he is what they can never become. There is the other guy who has it all, but things were just screwed up for him by Hitman, and that's the other nemesis character, which is the guy in the wheelchair, who sort of is the puppet master behind this whole chase. So I think there are some really solid characters in this game, actually, that makes the story interesting. Also because they have some really basic reasons to wanting to go after after 47 that everybody can relate to really easily. So it's not like artsy-fartsy in that way. It's good, understandable, cool characters that everybody will relate to. So the story will get appealing also if you're not a fan, I believe. I don't think you have to know about the previous games to think it's understand the situation and understand where everybody's coming from, actually. And there's also little cut sequences that don't really tell much story, but just hint stuff. Like you have this albino character reading an article about where you are now, so you're sort of feeling that he's closing in on you, and of course in the end you're gonna meet him in the game and you're gonna have a showdown.